Welcome, Namaste. For this practice, you will need a yoga bolster and a couple of these yoga bricks. We're going to start in a supported bound angle. Use those two bricks towards the top of your mat, changing up the height. So the brick that's at the very top of your mat is going to be at the tallest height. Second brick will be in front of that with the second height, the medium height in front of there. And we'll play with this once you get your bolster onto there. We are going to put your bolster on top of those bricks. Okay, check for stability before you're going to lay your spine on here, but check that it's stable first. You don't want it to collapse once you lay it on there. And then we'll bring your seat in front of the bolster. And we'll just do a few warm-ups for the hips before we settle into this shape. So with the knees bent, feet on the mat, and exhale, let your knees fall out to the side. Inhale, bring them back together, and keep going like that. Exhale for them to drop. Inhale up. We're warming up the shape that we're going to be in our restorative, supported bound angle. Good. Next time the knees are up, we'll keep them there as we begin to lay the spine back carefully onto your bolster. And let your head supported here. Adjust your seat closer or further away from that bolster. Tuck the chin towards the heart, making the back of the neck nice and long. And again, with that exhale, let those knees fall out to the sides. Maybe the bottoms of your feet will come to touch. Arms can open up away from the body. This is a nice chest and shoulder opener, relieving the tension from the day. As well as, of course, the hips are getting that opening. We'll be here for about 2 minutes. So thinking about belly breath. Long, slow, gentle inhales and exhales. Feeling the rise and fall of your belly. Also softening your belly. That's an area where you might hold tension from the day. So let go of bindings or stress there. And draw your knees back together, hands towards your mat, onto your mat, and push your way up to the seat. Maybe we'll just take quiet pose for a moment. So leaning forward, hands can wrap underneath your legs or around the legs. Counterposing and transitioning slowly to our next restorative shape. Good. And we will will swing the legs around, tabletop position facing your props. Same setup, you don't have to change anything there. We're going to do a supported child's pose, but again, it might be nice to find a little more opening in the hips before we settle in there. So take your knees as wide as your mat, towards the bottom of your mat here, big toes touch. Push the seat back towards your heel, and then wriggle your seat left and right. Stretching out, exploring, moving. Good. And then again, not going into a restorative shape yet, but walk your hands forward and then take your hands, walk them over towards the left. Side stretch, maybe placing your right hand on top of your left hand. Good. The right hand's on top, we'll bring that off. Walk it through center, over to the other side, to the right side, maybe left hand on top of the right hand. Good, and then back to center. Come up, draw your knees back underneath your hips, curl your toes under, and if it's okay, you can sit all the way back onto those heels. I just want to get a different ankle or foot stretch here, but maybe you prefer to say rock back and forth. Different toe stretch. Good. Giving you a little break from the tops of your feet being on the mat, because we are going to come into a restorative shape with that, okay? All right, we'll come forward, walk up towards your props. Knees as wide as your mat, and big toes touch. Push the seat back towards your heel. And then you can circle your arms, depending on the length of your arms. Maybe around the bricks, your blocks, or it might be in front, okay? I'm going to grab for that front block. And then bring your right cheek onto your bolster. And again, you may have to adjust coming closer or further away. Right cheek onto your bolster. And if it's okay, you can close your eyes here. A supported child's pose. And then turn your gaze the other way, bring your left cheek onto your bolster. Place your hands more underneath the shoulders, push your way up, and wherever you are, you find a way to stretch out your legs. I think that probably feel nice after that. You lean back on your hands, maybe shake out the legs a little bit. And then we're going to deconstruct your build here into our final shape. It's going to be a side lying child's pose, kind of fetal position, supported, and we'll be on our right side. So it opens up the left nostril for more air. Just thought to stimulate the right side of the brain, which controls our feeling of safety and ease. Okay, so I'm going to place my bolster out in front of my mat. One of these bricks is going to go between the thighs or the knees to keep the pelvis nice and neutral. Now, depending on your brick, it might feel comfortable to lay it down and kind of support your head there, kind of like a pillow, I would say, but it's not really soft. Or you might, rather than using your brick, you can support your head and cradle it in your arm. I'm going to try the brick, I haven't tried it. So this bolster is out in front, so you can wrap your top arm, your left arm on top of that like you were hugging somebody that you care for maybe, giving it a little snuggle. Good, so something underneath your head, your arm, your block, it's not that bad actually, and then having the other block between your thighs to keep your pelvis neutral, help that low back, and then that top arm, left arm, simply going to drape over your bolster. Closing your eyes if you're comfortable with that. 2 minutes here. Like to stay where you are, stay right where you are and ignore me. But if you are planning to get moving, maybe wiggle your toes and your fingers. We'll roll that bolster forward out of your legs a little bit. Reach that brick out from between your legs. Use that top hand. Slowly, ever so slowly, drape your body. Let it drape as you come up. Head can hang right up until the very end. Hopefully you're all nice and wound down now, ready for some rest. Thank you for joining me for this short restorative practice. Namaste.